Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do Amy's 60-minute colour challenge. This week it's brown. Right, I've just got my thing there, I'm not starting it right yet. I'll just show you what I've sorted out. I've got loads and bits and bobs here that I have just rummaged and found. All sorts of stuff there. I sorted out from my scrapbook paper scraps all of this. There's tons of it. This ain't scrapbook paper. It was from an Easter chicken with our eggs last year. So I kept that and I found it a whole year later and I've never used it. And yeah, all sorts of scrapbook paper as well, and also some lovely cardboard, like some rigid and some quite like soft. It feels really nice. So all of that. I did have loads more as well in my scrap bin, but I thought, don't be ridiculous, I'm not going to use even a tenth of this today. So as soon as it started getting like a bit of a pile, I thought, right, calm down love. You're jumping ahead of yourself. I've found loads of scraps. I've got some lovely brown fabrics from my lovely friend Denise. Hello my darling. And then beiges and creams and that we always use. String that's brown. And then I've got my two, what's it called? I've got out my sort of creams and that box, and also my brown trims box. So they're on the table behind me, and I'm just looking what I'm going to start with first. Oh, that was something that I made and then I realised I've measured it wrong. I'll just grab out, I'll tell you what, I will grab out this as well, and a bit of that. Right, and that. Right, so I've got plenty going on with, and of course in my paper scraps they are all kinds of creams and browns and whatnot. So we've got that. I will just put that on here, and it's really handy because, hang on, I've got to reach this over without showing, because up in this top left corner it's personalised. But I'm doing a series at the minute where I'm working on a boho kind of one of these, but this brown one needs filling. I can't open this bit either. I'll show you to there. You can see there's another one of those Tim Holtz pockets. And there's a double pocket behind here, or a single pocket, I can't remember. But yeah, it's personalised under there as well. But as you can see, I'm making loads. I need to make loads of ephemera, because I've made 1,000,001 pockets. So I've got to fill them now. So the fact that Amy chose brown as the next colour has worked out perfect for me, because I need to work on some browns. So let's get started. I hope everyone is well. Welcome back. If you're new, oh, a big warm welcome. I'm so lucky to have quite a few new subscribers this week. Dawn, my lovely dear friend Dawn, she's one of the kindest people I know, which all the kindest people I know I have met through YouTube, without a shadow of a doubt. All the kindest people I know, and that I know kind people that I knew before YouTube, but yeah, the very best people on earth are the crafting community here on YouTube. So that's good. Hang on, I'm just looking, did I start my timer? Because it should be counting down. No, I've started it now. Right, I'm going to lose that bit of, what's it? Yeah. So yeah, Dawn sent over some people. She gave me a shout out on Instagram. So thank you, my lovely Dawn. And yeah, welcome to everybody. That is wonky. Right, let's go again. And so yeah, I'm really pleased for all you new subbies to be joining me, and yeah, I hope you'll stick around. It's it's really lovely to have you all here, and yeah, we're working on Amy's colour challenge. Amy, that is the channel Crafty Cat here on YouTube. Oh, hang on, I don't want to put that down yet. I want to get some of these bits and bobs cut. So let's get that fold there on, and we'll see. Oh yeah, that got it off all right. And yeah, I really don't need to be saving things like this really, but I just saw the basket work and thought, that'll look cool in like a nature kind of journal. And yeah, I shoved it in with all the other junk and all the other bits of scrapbook card and whatnot, and yeah, forgot all about it until now. So it's nice to have found it and think, oh, I remember thinking you'd be useful and then never looking at you again. And I'm sure we all relate to that, don't we? Oh, right, so I hope everybody is safe and well. That is what I meant to say, if I haven't already said it. We're all doing fine here. I was feeling a bit peaky yesterday, but it wasn't weren't coronavirus related. I think it was more menopause related. I kept feeling so hot, just so hot. But I love these brown butterflies. This is a really lovely scrapbook page, so fancy making a couple of tags with that. And yeah, I'm just, oh, this can be, right, I'm going to pop them to one side, and anything else I need we'll sort out as we go along. Oh, I wanted a bit of the softer card, like corrugated card. Oh, I did have it out, it's here. Right, it's really easy to tear and it's really lovely to work with. So, I think it looks so cute. So, let's start with, we'll start with a bit of this. Before I start layering up some texture, I'll put, you could really, what's it called? You could journal straight onto that. But, I've got quite a lot of brown paper from packaging. My daughter has been ordering stuff for the kids' birthdays on the internet because it seems like we're going to be in lockdown before she can get to like out to buying children's clothes or toys or whatnot. So I'm getting quite a hefty stash of packaging. And the kids always say to me, Mum, do you want to have the box that anything's come in? Because sometimes they're really handy sizes like that I can fit a journal in to send out, which is handy. Although, when I made that big the big shabby chic journal that was like horses and all of that for my dear friend Tracy's mum, when I made that, and it had that great big massive shabby chic box for it to go in, I couldn't find a box big enough, so I ended up having to go round the corner shop and ask him if he had a crisp box that they get the crisps delivered in, if he could let me have one of them. And so he gave me an empty Skips box that I turned inside out so that it would be plain brown on the outside. And yeah, he let me have that because I couldn't find a box anywhere in my stash, or when I was looking like in the post office and that for the boxes that they sell you to send things in. But I improvised, as I so often do. If I'll be remembered for one thing in my life, I think it'll be, well, it'd have to be two things. One, that I'm a scatterbrain and I do laugh at myself ever such a lot, and the other would be that if I've got one skill, it's improvising. And I was looking for this, but it was on the tray and not in there where I thought it was. So yeah, I am a good improviser, always have been, and that. If I go to make something like for dinner or that, and we ain't got an ingredient that I thought I'd need, I throw something else in, make it up as I go along and give it a new name. And it's the same with this junk journaling, with any art or crafts that I do. I get something in the head and then find out, oh, I ain't actually got that. I'll improvise, and normally it turns out alright. One of the funniest things was when the kids was quite little, and I used to do art and craft with them, but I didn't do much stuff of my own, like adult art and crafts anymore. I just didn't have the time in my life. I was bringing up 4 young kids by myself, and so I didn't used to have time, but I always used to do stuff with the kids. But then one day I just woke up, right, thinking that I wanted to sculpt something, right. I wanted to make for my like hallway a swirly thing that I would put in a plant pot, and it was going to be painted and it was all going to be wonderful. In my head it was amazing, right, but I needed chicken wire and I didn't have one. I didn't have no chicken wire, so instead of ordering some or just trying to find some, I wanted to make that thing that day. And I remember it was when the kids was right little, yeah, because the place where I was living in there, I did have a garden, but the son never used to get the back garden because it was only a tiny garden, and it used to get the front of the house all day. And I remember sitting in my front garden trying to unwinding metal coat hangers, unravelling them and trying to sort of create this thing with plaster of Paris and bandages and these coat hangers. And my mate used to live a few doors down and she'd been out and then came back, and I'm sitting in the front garden up to my elbows in clay with, oh yeah, because I didn't have proper plaster of Paris as well, so I thought I did have decorating plaster and that. I thought I'll water that down, and yeah, and I'll dip that in bandages, dip bandages in that rather, and yeah, go along like that. And yeah, it was craziness. I was smothered in the stuff, but like from my fingers up past my elbows. And I'll never forget my friends coming along and being like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh, I need to make this, I need to sculpt this thing. I just woke up with the urge, so I've got to do it while it's all still fresh in my head. And my friend just laughing so much, and she was a bit menopausal at the time, and she was like, I've got to go in, I'm going to wet myself. And yeah, that was because it was a really lovely sunny day, and that's what I was sitting in the sun in my front garden doing it. And she was like, do you not realise, this was after, do you not realise how mental you actually look when you're doing things like that to the other neighbours? And I said, do you know what, I really don't care. And yeah, I never have. But it was funny. And the end of that is, no, the household decorating plaster dipped in bandages and wrapped around coat hangers did not come out how it would have done if I'd had what's it called, proper plaster of Paris and proper kitchen wire and everything like that, because I had in my brain the idea of this great big thing that was going to be wonderful, and it just kept collapsing down on itself. It looked like a bit of a poorly snake rather than a big thick spiral. But yeah, that's one thing I have learned. You can wing it and everything, but you kind of do need to have some of the right equipment. If you start a job, hang on, I'm just getting some of these. If you start a job and you've got to replace one or two things, yeah, it'll probably work. If you start a job and you've got to replace every single thing with something else, it probably won't. That's something that I've found. But yeah, it because I weren't doing as much stuff as what I do now, I used to just get like that every now and again. I would think, no, I've got to do this while the kids are at school, or I've got to, like, once I've finished doing their stuff and put them to bed, I've got to do something of my own, create something of my own. Because yeah, back then I had 4 little kids, and so you don't get much time, apart from when they're at school or when they're asleep, to do some of your ideas. And that was way before I didn't even know what junk journaling was back then. But yeah, I always did like art. I was good at art at school, and I did both 2D and 3D art at school. So sculpting and that was one of the things that I hadn't done since I'd left school, but that I was quite good at it. So yeah, it was nice to sort of throw myself into these things every now and again. But because of that, and the same friend, during that conversation, I let slip that when I was a kid, I'd always wanted a potter's wheel of my own, but my mum would never let me, because she was like, oh no, it creates too much mess. And so I was never allowed. And so yeah, that birthday, my friend bought me a potter's wheel for my birthday. A kiddie's one though, because they obviously couldn't afford to buy me a great big one. She had 5 kids of her own, so she bought me one of the children's ones, like the Fisher Price potter's wheel or whatever it was, Mattel potter's wheel. But yeah, how funny. Right, I want to put, I think, got some nice browns in here. Oh, got a tiny little bit of that here. I'll take that off of there. Keep that. And yeah, that's perfect. And so yeah, I just like to go with the flow. Just do what I can, and I'll do improvise where I have to. But but yeah, I learnt a lesson that day that there's some things that you've got to have the right stuff for. But yeah, I used to always enjoy if the kids got invited to like a fancy dress party. And a few times we had it where we did fancy dress parties for the kids, because it was such a good opportunity to sort of make something from scratch. That is still, or is it a different bit? That is very wonky. I don't know if something is wrong with my cutter. I have got another cutter I might have to get out. Or is it? Because none of this is broke or anything, but I keep getting wonky lines, which ain't good. So I might have to get out my other cutter. Right, so I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with it. Oh, I'll round the corners on this one, actually, before I go any further. So yeah, I hope everyone is safe and well at home. we're all fine here, and just doing what we can to sort of keep the boredom at bay, keep the kids entertained. I've been printing off some homework for Lily, like schoolwork that my daughter is doing with her every day. She's got a timetable of so that she gets a full amount of schoolwork in each day, which is nice. Right, I'm just looking over here. Oh, I like that one. Right, I'm going to ink around that. I think I'll use the tea dye around it though. And yeah, I've got to print some more off today and pop them in the post. And so while I do that, I print Jaden some colouring sheets off and pop them in the post. And then, like, he's not left out. But yeah, Rosie's got a strategy, like where she's got a timetable. She does so many hours each day on a weekday, so that Lily's education is not halted by this thing that's going on around the world. But I'm sure there will be some little kids whose parents don't do anything with them, because there are unfortunately some people like that, and their kids will suffer for it, really. Right, I'm making that all smudgy, but okay, I'm just gonna make some smudges on there because I had ink on my finger and I've put a couple of lines on there. So if I do a bit with these different colours to Vintage Photo and tea dye, that's it. You don't know that that wasn't supposed to be there. That's quite cool actually. Right, what I want along the top. Oh, that's a bit big. I bought a fancy dress costume when I was at a boot sale. I bought it home, washed it, and then cut it up because it had all little bits and bobs on that I thought was cool. And this was a bit of a ruffle around the neck, and I think that would look pretty cool. Right, I want to try and trim that, get some of the thickness off. Because I didn't want to, I unpicked a lot of it as well, but I didn't do that with this because this bit is stitched on to that pink, so if I unpicked it all, it'd all fall apart. So I didn't do that, I just cut it off. But just taking some of that thickness off, it still kept the gold and bits of the pink, but without it being so bulky. Right. Just a couple more little trims. So, and you see where I've cut it, some of that is starting to come off, but I'm going to stick it back in place, so it's all going to be fine. So let's get some glue on the top here. Get that down, and then I'm gonna get that bit of gold, stick it back down. Right. And then I'll trim this, I'll trim the top down a bit because I don't want it that tall. I think that's a bit quite cool, a little bit different, something out of the ordinary. although I could lose some of the netting. Just cut a V into there, into that netting, pick it out, and a bit off the edge. That's it. Yep, I like that. What should we make now? I've got these little envelopes. Now look, you'll see, if I line that up straight there and there, these have been glued wrong, but they're ideal as pockets, and once we put trim on, you don't know that they're... So I found this in the scraps. I know it's not brown, but I really like it. I must have cut it to use at some point or another and then not used it because it's all been inked around. So I really like that. What did I want? Maybe a bit of this on here. Let's see how high that goes up. Right. If I'd used it another bit coming from the other way, that bit would be hidden. Oh no. Cover the front with this, maybe. No. I don't want to cover the whole front. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ink this. So like I said, once there's a bit of trim across the bottom, you don't know that the envelope has been glued wrong. And yeah, I just find them a really nice pocket for a tag. And yeah, you can make a tag that fits in really nicely. And it's a sturdy pocket because it's been made to be an envelope. Right. Oh! I just thought get a bit of ink going across and then like the lines stand out a bit better. And I'm going to have that there, like that. And yeah, hopefully I'll get quite a few things done to fill this little ephemera envelope, folio that I'm working on. And if you've been watching that series, the little notebook inside is just a notebook. I might have, in some of them, I might have put like a pocket in the front and back and that, but they are just a notebook, and the ephemera I'm making is for a normal size journal, not for the little notebook that's come with it, because otherwise all the ephemera would have to be really, really tiny, and it's only a tiny little, some of them are a 40-page book, some are 48 or 44, but most I think are 40, yeah, not 44, I think they're either 40 or 48, the ones that I've done. But actually I want to fray that a bit more and have it coming off the edge a bit more, like that. And yeah, there's loads and loads of pockets in them little folios for ephemera, so it would be way, way, way too much for a little tiny notebook like the ones I've made. But it was just because that was all I had, like folio wise. I didn't have any bigger stuff to hand. Right, I'm liking that. I want something down here. Look, and you see that fits just inside nicely. Well, there's a lot of room. Hang on, let's see that one. This one looks, oh no, it's not too wide. Yeah, look, see that fits in there lovely. I think I'm going to have that. and that rose is very similar to that. Right. Although I don't like the position, actually. I might take it up and put it back on after. I want something over here. So, I think I know what. Some of this weird paper that I got from packaging is really, really cool. I kind of like. Maybe just like that. Right, let's cut that bit off. I could have that coming down. Yeah. I'll try and get some ink on there. You're not going to see a lot of it. Just this top bit. I actually don't need that. I don't need it too bulky. And so, yeah, let's get some glue on here. Get that up there. I was just thinking if I backed that, I didn't. I'll do that in a minute. Right. And so, I have that. Yeah, I prefer that further down. Do I want a bit of this? Oh, I know what I did have. I did a bit of this with a bit of fabric stuck to it, and then I changed my mind about it. So it ended up on this pile. Yeah, it ended up on this pile, never to be seen again, obviously, because, yeah, I really can't find it. Right, I ain't got the time. I've got a bee. I prefer that. Yeah, let's get that stuck down. For the second time in this video. Right. That's stuck down there. I much prefer that. And then this little bad boy can go just below, like that. I want him at an angle. Yeah, and then I want some trim going across here to hide that wonky button. That scrap there. No, it can't go from behind because I could just take that bit off. No. Let's see what I've got. I will be 2 ticks. That is fine. Right. So I'll try and hold this up a bit so that I get it straight. Right. Hang on a minute. I like the look of that. Right. That's another trim. That's it. And we'll see. Yep, that's a nice pocket and tag that fits nicely inside. And then I want a bit more glue under there. because now it's going into a pocket, it can catch a lot easier. Right, that's those two out the way. I might put something there. We'll come back to that. What I want to do now, I want to back this. So I had quite a few. Oh, the light just got knocked over. I had quite a few bits like this. So something like that fits really nicely. I'll just cut it round the edges and yeah, we'll be good to go. Long scissors. Oh. Right, just use that as a guide to save time. We'll give it a quick ink around the edge. I can hear Olivia the other side of the door. She wants to open the door. Her mum's telling her no. Right. Yep, that will fit nicely. Oh, I'm just getting the glue stick. Flip that over. Oh. That's it. Nice backing on there. Right. What else did I want to make? Oh, I'm ending up with too many things on my desk. It's going to start driving me insane. Right, I've made a couple of tags. We've got a pocket. Oh, I've got a nice petty cash voucher here that I want to alter. Let's see, because it will end up folded. So I don't want anything dodgy over where it will fold, like anything too bulky. It'll have to fold to go into a pocket. So too big. Just looking for something little. Right, a little bit of fabric that if I cut a straighter edge just down one side, I fancy having something like that there, something over it, maybe something like that. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. Oh, and then maybe just something little simple over us. There's this journaling space and then all the journaling space on the back. I think that might be quite nice. So I'll just ink around the word nature. I made sure before I started that I printed off a little pile of words that I might need on ivory paper. I had a butterfly. I'll just get in nice and inky. Right, and this. And yeah, I am loving these colour challenges. I think they're really fun, and I was trying to explain it yesterday. I know Amy would have got what I meant, because she does get what I mean. She's known me long enough now. She knows exactly what I mean when other people are struggling to think, what on earth does she mean? But yeah, I was trying to say, it's a bit like having a bit of respite, like a bit of a day off of doing what I do every day, which I know is this. But yeah, and at the minute, this one I suppose it don't really count, because I am planning on using a lot of these in my folio that I'm making. But often with the colours, I'm just making the stuff and it's just using up my scraps. I've made a little rule with myself that whatever colour is chosen for that week, I won't use new paper sheet. So I'm not going to my stacks of paper to look for anything at all. It's got to come out of my scraps. That's a rule I've made for myself. The only rule, other than Amy's 60 minutes and what colour, that's her rules. My rule is, yeah, don't start a new paper, a new piece of 12 by 12. Use your scraps. So that's a really good thing. And it you're sort of building up your stash of pre-prepared stuff, so that, like, obviously, like I said, not with this, because I plan for this to go straight into something else. But yeah, for the majority, I'm going to cover the word signature with the word nature. So let's do an altered paper clip. Right, I need something a little bit sturdy for the back, so I might as well use this. I'm going to have to stop in a minute anyway, so we're going to be shorter than the 60 minutes, because it's lunchtime for the children, so I can't take up their lunchtime when they're waiting for it. So, as you new subscribers won't know, I recently moved and I lost my craft room. So while I save up for a shed or some house in the garden, which will probably take me forever and a day, because that's the way life is, and while we're waiting for me to do that, I have to craft in my kitchen dining room, so things have to stop when people are hungry. It's just the way it is. I've had to pause a couple of times as well, because my front door leads straight in to my kitchen dining room, so every knock at the door or anyone wanting to come in or out is also an interruption. But that's the way life is. And yeah, I've got a busy family, busy life, so it's just one of those things. It's not, I'm getting used to it now. It's not too bad for me, but unfortunately, with situations like I said, like the kids need feeding, you can't not feed them, so I need to stop. Probably, I've got, what's it saying on there? It's saying I've got like 16 minutes left, so yeah, I probably won't do the whole hour today, because yeah, they've got to have their lunch. I should have started earlier, but then the washing machine was going. So you can see there's all these kinds of little minor things, daily struggles. But the way I look at it, if they're things I'm worrying about or that I struggle with, my life's pretty good really, isn't it? Because there could be plenty more that I'm struggling about, or that is not good. So yeah, it's no dramas, but yeah, I don't know how long it'll take me to save up for that little space of my own, but it's a little dream that I've got, and yeah, I'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Right, I like that, although I don't want it on that side because that's the way it's opening up. I don't want it poking out of the journal, I want it pointing into the journal. Right, that was a bit silly of me. Right, that's it. Yeah, that's the right side, yeah. I want it pointing in. So, on the other side, I think I might have another bit of this little trim. It's perfect for small little things like this. Let's see how much of it I need before I go chopping. Now I'll just glue across the bottom. And I'm going to stick something on there. That's way too big. Oh, I can see if I've got another little butterfly. Come on, you must have another little one. Right, maybe over the other side. Oh yeah, no, they're not that little. Even that one. That's not too bad. Or, oh yeah, that's better size. I prefer that, even though the other one coming off at the sides looked quite cool. Right. Okay. Like that. And on what way will we be going in? So it'll go on the page that way. We'll be flying inwards, I think, is nice. Like that. So then when it's on our book page, maybe a stiffer bit of something while it's drying, because I don't want to be bending anything too much. This is a tricky bit, just the first time opening them, but once you've done it like that, there's no need to do it again. Like, well, there will be when I put it on the proper page, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that little piece. And right, I haven't used this yet, we'll use that for our final thing. And I've got bits over here that I've cut, haven't I? We'll use a bit of this basket, right? So it's nice and thick, won't need to be backed. I think as well, that was a vintage photo, but I think I'm going to go over with the tea dye ink because of the hue of this. I just think it'll look quite cool, as it's very similar. Right, so like I said, I hadn't used that, I hadn't used this yet. A bit with a flower will be nice. Just try and cut in a straight line. Oh, see, that's why I like to use a cutter, because otherwise I'll be chopping and end up with nothing. Right. Kind of like that. With there. And right, what else do I want? Do I want? No, they're too big. That's very pretty. I do like that. I'm just gonna get a little bit of black just to do a border all around, and that could possibly sit like that or like that, like that. I like that way. We'll put a bit of cheesecloth behind it as well. Let's see, that bit's darker there, this side. Right, so I'm just going to lop a bit off and then we'll pull it about. Down there. Right, pull it about up there. And then that's it. Oh, there went my, what's it called? Hole punch and eyelet setter. That needs to be pulled about a bit more. Right. Just coming out a little bit. Maybe just coming out at the top. Otherwise I've got to cut a whole nother bit. And I'm going to have something at the bottom anyway. So we'll have it coming out of the top like that. It's not sticking one little bit. Right. Just want that fraying a bit better. And what about the word serenity? It's could do with being a bit darker. It's printed on ivory. Oh, and that smudged it. So we don't want to do that. We'll have happiness instead. Being careful. Right. Happiness, and it's a bit too big. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that was my phone just rung, and what's it? I know it's nearly time's up as well. So I'm going to make this my last thing because the kids are wanting their dinners, or lunches rather. So I want that happiness there like that. And I think though I would prefer the corners round. Maybe just at the top. And then I might have something at the bottom. No, not that again. Oh, no, I think I won't have something at the bottom, but I will have just one of these leaves. just like that. Right, just like that. Okay, I'm really happy with that. So, for my little folio, I've got a pocket that needs inking round. Right, I've got a pocket that, hang on. I should have done that earlier, I didn't think of that. I've got a pocket and this fits in it nicely. We've got a journaling card here with that on. We've got our altered paper clip there for our book page. We've got our little journaling card, and we've also got our altered petty cash voucher. So I'm quite pleased with what I've got done. I hope that you've enjoyed it too. I'll be back with something else very, very soon. And I love you loads. Thank you. Stay well and stay safe and healthy. Stay wonderful as you always are. And yeah, just take care. Bye for now.